Good morning and welcome. This is Ruth Hunt, your host. Without any further ado, we have a dynamic guest this morning, and take out your pen and paper so that you can actually take down notes because this is a very informational interview and you're going to find it very educational. So our guest this morning is the dynamic Miss Dedra Tate, and she comes from a very renowned family, the Tate family, and maybe you know of this family as our New Yorkers will know that they have been doing positive and wonderful things within the Harlem community and beyond for many, many years. She is the daughter of Mr. Robert Bob Tate and the illustrious, beautiful Sandy Tate. And she has a dynamic sister, Janine Tate. And I always say this is the most fantastic Black family. They're like the Brady Bunch. They always do everything together. They have an extended family with dynamic children, Robbie and Gian. And they are just a phenomenal family. So you're in for a treat. So Dedra, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great, and welcome to the Harlem community. We want to share your goodness this morning. So before we talk about, we have many things that we're going to touch on, but before we do that, I just want to highlight Dedra because she has been working in front of the camera, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and just tell us a little bit about you. I understand that you were part of the Living Legends Foundation for the things that you do. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. Well, good morning, and thanks for having me first and foremost. And I want to say that you are equally as fabulous with all that you do. And you know that I love your entire fabulous style and everything that you bring, especially with genealogy and what you do with your personal business, helping people connect their roots. So, yeah, I in 2019, actually right before the pandemic, I was honored by the Living Legends Foundation. I received their Executive of the Year award, and it was in memory of Mike Bernardo, who was the first female head of promotions at a major record label. So it was pretty much for my contributions throughout my 40 plus years in the entertainment industry, and it was a true honor. It was held in Hollywood. I was amongst some other very distinguished honorees, and my entire family. I think we had about 20 people that flew out to LA. We rented a beautiful home in the valley, had a party bus, and we just made an entire week-long vacation out of it, and it was amazing.
Oh, how marvelous. I think I saw some of the pictures on Facebook, but it was fabulous. I'm sorry I didn't hop on the bus and come along because it's certainly a historic moment, I would think.
Yes, it was definitely a highlight, a career highlight for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, and what would be the main highlight for you that they nominated you and selected you for that honor?
So it was actually for my complete body of work throughout my career. So I'm a proud Howard University graduate. My parents actually both went to Howard. That's where they met and fell in love. And they just recently celebrated 63 years of marriage, and they are still going strong. Howard HU, we call it Bison Love. So right out of Howard, I actually, my dad at the time, I think he was the head of advertising and marketing for Ebony and Jet magazine, and he had a lot of contacts. So, of course, his company is Unlimited Contacts. So when I was a senior, I told him that I wanted to work for MTV. That company had just launched the year prior, and so he actually had a contact there that he connected me with, and that's how I got my foot in the door after graduating from Howard. And I started out in the sales division thanks to his contact, and within a year, I was able to segue into talent relations. That was the department that was the liaison for the entire MTV. So anybody who wanted tickets for any of the concerts, the talent relations department was the liaison between everybody in the music industry. So that was the place to be. I was I think I was the only African American on that entire floor, which was the creative floor at that time. This was in 1984. So that's how I got my start. And then I left with my boss from MTV, he started a record label with Elton John called Uni Records, and he took me with him, which is how I segued into the music industry. From there, I met my mentor, Gerald Busby, while I was the head of promotions. I was doing promotions for Uni Records. And then from there, I went to MCA, where Gerald was the chairman. And then he was offered the opportunity to purchase Motown Records from Berry Gordy. So, he did a fundraising effort, became the chairman and CEO of Motown, and he took me with him there. And during my 8 years at Motown, I ended up becoming, for the latter 3 years, the general manager of Michael Bivins' label, Biv 10 Records. That was an imprint of Motown, and New Edition actually was my group the whole time, all of my years at MCA. I came on board to MCA when they released their Any Heartbreak album. So I had a great relationship with all of the guys, and I ended up working with all of their spin-off groups, from BBD to Bobby Brown as a solo artist. When I got to Motown, I worked Johnny Gill as a solo artist. And then while I was running Biv 10, Gerald signed Queen Latifah to Motown. So I had the opportunity to meet both Latifah and her partner, Shakim, and that was while I was running Michael Bivins' label. And they asked me after 3 years at Biv 10 if I would be willing to relocate to New Jersey to become the president and general manager of Flavor Unit Entertainment. So at the time, they were mostly doing management, and they wanted to really get into the record label side of the business. So we ended up transitioning the company from a management powerhouse to also a record label. And then we ended up having 3 different record labels because they were different imprint deals. And slowly but surely, during my 13 years at Flavor Unit, we started segueing into TV and film production. And that's how I started in that part of the world. And our first thing that we did was the Vibe Awards, which was a collaboration between CBS and Vibe magazine with Flavor Unit. And I was the associate producer for that. And that started me with my entree into TV and film. Remember Vibe magazine, Quincy Jones publication?
Yes. My cousin is Lenny Burnett.
Oh, yeah. So Len was still there at the time. And so that's how we created the Vibe Awards. It was their signature, and we were the production company, and worked closely with CBS. And so that aired for 3 years. That was the first thing I did in the TV and film space. How
exciting. What an illustrious career path that it just, it just snowballed from one thing to the other, and you just continue to grow. I love those type of career paths because it's just interesting. It shows your creativity, your adaptability, how you're able to move from one industry to the next, just still bringing those same talents and creativity with you. So kudos to you, darling. I can see why you got that award.
Actually refer to my career as a connect the dots, because it seems like every place I went, I made a connection that was like a seamless transition to the next phase of my career. So I've actually, even in proximity in Manhattan, the first, I think, 14 years of my career, I only moved one city block, but 3 different buildings. And then finally, from Flavor Unit, that's when we started doing the TV and film. That's when I started my own division of Unlimited Contacts, which was the name of my dad's company. But I registered it in New Jersey and was able to start producing TV, film, and events underneath that banner.
Beautiful. I do think, because, I believe in, history, genealogy, and standing on, the shoulders of our ancestors. And here you have a living legend within your, 2 living legends. And to think that you stood on your father's shoulders. I mean, you got your own talent. I mean, you have your own talent. You brought your talent and your creativity. Of course, that he gave you DNA wise, but for you to come and then expand on it and it still lives on in you. I mean, that is just so it just fills my heart, that you continue to live in his vibration and his essence of what he started, and then he is able to then look at you as you take it to another level. It's just beautiful. So may God continue to bless both of you, and that your legacy
I always tell people that 2 words that are staying in my vocabulary is networking and nepotism.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, Black people do not use nepotism enough. We have to be like our competitors. They reach out
Absolutely.
to their family members, to their parents, friends, and their network to find out how somebody can open the doors, because it's even harder, for people that are African American, especially in this day and age. So if you do not use the resources, if you're not talking about what you're doing or talking about what your interests are, who's going to know and be able to open the door for you? And you just have to make sure that you are prepared so that when you walk through that door that you are not disappointing anyone. You have to make sure you stay on top of the game, because when you do get an opportunity based on nepotism or through just networking, you really have a lot more to prove, because you probably have gotten that position over someone else that was just trying to go the regular route without any contacts.
Yes. And the people who open the door for you are opening it because of the reputation of the person who sent you. So you have to make them proud. You have to be able to stand up to their belief in you, and you don't disappoint them. You have to take a step further. And you have to always remember, as you said, we have to take advantage of the contacts and the people who love us and want to see us do better, because the other groups, that's the reason why they are sailing, because they help one another, and that has always been our way of being, from slavery through to Jim Crow. We had to help each other to get from one thing to the other, but we mustn't lose. Yeah, we can't lose that. We have to continue. But Black women are doing such marvelous things today. To think that your resume reads like this as a Black woman, making it in, this competitive environment that we live in. So, it's really phenomenal, the work that you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to, I learned about Black Health Matters through you and your marketing and putting it up on Facebook about Black Health Matters. And I had the opportunity to have your colleague, or you want to call her your colleague?
Yeah, our founder and CEO, Rosalind Young Daniels.
Yes, Rosalind Daniels. She was on just prior to your conference in July, and she did a marvelous job, promoting it and saying who was coming and so forth. And I told her then I'm definitely coming to the program, which I did, and it was phenomenal. I saw you in the front row.
And we were so glad to have you there. And it was a record-breaking summit for us.
Oh, really? So
yes.
The only thing is I got there in the early afternoon, and I should have gotten there in the morning, because there was so much information. And the information that was really geared to Black people. I mean, the Black cardiologist and the other doctor that spoke, the way he spoke to us and the time that he took, we need that kind of education along with our medical visits, because we have to be educated to understand the importance of what we do, how we do, the medications that we take. It was so thorough. So without me going on and on, because it was wonderful, I just wanted you to tell us, in comparison to from last year to this year, because we had a lot of media coverage, and I was happy to see that. But how many people come? Did this meet go beyond your expectations?
Yes. So actually, first, I just want to thank, rest in peace, to Lloyd Williams, who is, I'm one of his many godchildren, and I actually talked to my dad, who is one of the board members for the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, to tell him that Black Health Matters, we were producing these award-winning hybrid health summits all over the country, and we really wanted to partner with the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, who was actually, during the pandemic, producing a hybrid health conference. So the reason why all of our summits are on Saturdays, except for the Harlem Week Health Summit and Expo, is because we do the same Thursday that they used to host their hybrid event. So we wanted to, that they did their virtual event. So what we did was we reached out to the Alhambra Ballroom, and for the first 2 years we held it at the Alhambra. But last year we were at capacity and had to turn away over 300 people that were outside trying to get into the building. There just was not enough space to not only accommodate them, but we also had to turn away a lot of people that wanted to provide resources and information from their different companies, advocacy groups. We couldn't do all of the screenings from people that wanted to do screenings. So we moved the summit to Riverside Church this year, and that allowed us to have over 1,200 people in person. We had 4,000 people total that registered. 1,200 were in person. We had virtual attendance of another 1,200 people, thanks to the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce doing a simultaneous broadcast live stream on their platform. And then we did our virtual platform live stream on VFair's platform. So that got us another 1,200 people. And then we even had a screening party, thanks to my boy Kevin Bracey, who's one of the Harlem Sigmas. He actually works at the New Jewish Home, which is in Harlem, and they have an in-person residency, and they also have people that come there that are seniors that just do day activities, and they hosted a screening party there. They have a auditorium that holds about 100 people. So we put together some Black Health Matters swag bags, sent them over there at 7 o'clock in the morning so that they could give them to everybody that attended. So they actually are included in our 1,200 number for virtual. But it was absolutely amazing. And I know that Rosalind told you it is so hard to sell health and to get people to come out to health events, which is why we always bring the star power. So we had Tim and Kyle Durrett, who plays Bill Hamilton on Beyond the Gates. He's like the super villain. I saw your picture with him. It's in one of our recap reels. But we started out the morning with Sandra Bookman from Here and Now. We had Nikki Sunshine, who's a stand-up comedian and co-owner of Comedy in Harlem. We had Tobias Trevelyan, who's an actor, Elijah Westbrook from CBS 2 News. And we also had Cynthia Bailey from the Housewives franchise, who's also an entrepreneur and a fierce advocate for women's health, because she herself has dealt with fibroids and a lot of women's gynecological health issues. So she's an advocate for that topic, and that's why she's actually been with us 3 different summits. She does the Atlanta Summit. I think we had her in Charlotte, and she's done New York twice.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, we provided free breakfast, lunch, and health screenings and testings throughout the day. So we tested people for A1C, glucose, digital hand strength screenings, hepatitis, HIV, hypertension. We had mobile units outside that were doing free mammograms, and also a mobile unit that did free PSA testing. So we had vision. We even had foot massages, and Touro College was one of the people that came in. Ryan Health came on board and did a lot of the screenings. But one of the biggest things that we were able to accomplish this year that we've done in other markets was to partner with Choose Healthy Life. Choose Healthy Life has a thing called the Blueprint for Wellness, which is like a blood test that tests every single thing that's going on in every part of your body. And everyone who got that test done at our summit received a full report digitally via email within a week. And within 2 weeks, they received their customized book that you look through, and you can take that to your doctor. It has your body broken down from... I am sorry you missed it too. And whenever you hear that they're doing it, I'll actually call and tell you so you can go get one. Choose Healthy Life actually partners with the churches in the different markets that they're in. So we worked through a church in Brooklyn, and they bring in Quest Diagnostics. Quest Diagnostics had about 6 phlebotomists on site, and they performed over 200 tests. So my phone's been blowing up from everybody that received their books recently in the mail, because they can just take it to their doctor. They can see the problem areas, what to work on, what's a red flag. And this way you don't have to keep going only when something's bothering you, because you can see indications of danger and major issues that you may not even have symptoms of.
That's major. That was amazing. I saw that they were also doing something where they could screen you for colon cancer by taking your blood.
Absolutely. We had colorectal cancer screenings as well.
Right. The only reason I didn't take that because I have an appointment for this month for my colonoscopy, so I didn't go. So he said, "Oh well, since you're going, you don't have to take it." But I mean, you covered everything. It was so extensive, and you covered all the areas. And the reason why it really speaks to me is because I retired from New York City Health and Hospital Corporation, Bellevue. I had major health fairs and events just like what you all are doing. So to be retired for all this time and to see that it's still going on another level, I am so proud of you. I know how much work it goes into it. I used to have Walt Frazier, Spencer Haywood. I had different celebrities because at that time, men didn't go to the doctor, and we had to take your man to the doctor day. We had,
that's what you have to do.
You have to do. And so if you bring a sports figure, then they all come. We have music, So I am so thrilled to see that this whole concept, because we have to speak to our people in the way that they understand. And
you have to get them to, you have to lead them to the water so they can drink it. And that's why we always make sure that we invest in bringing celebrities and people that are tastemakers into the building so they can draw that talent in, because they introduce all of our amazing sessions where we have the top professional scientists, doctors, nurses, health advocates, patient advocates that are telling their stories and helping people save their lives one event at a time. That's our motto. We're saving lives one event at a time.
Absolutely. It was just phenomenal. So what's up? Are you all doing something? What's on the horizon for?
Well, we always have something in the pot cooking at Black Health Matters. So we are now full speed ahead for our Charlotte Summit, which is going to be in November at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. We're already confirming our speakers and sponsors for that event. We actually have programs going on this month in Baltimore with AstraZeneca, which we're going to be having like a big health fair. I think it was a 3-part series, but this is going to be the last one that's coming up. I know that we're working closely with the mayor's office there, and there's going to be great screenings. By the way, all of this information you can find on blackhealthmatters.com. But one of our biggest new initiatives is going to be called Our Health, Our Wellness. That's going to be a 1-month initiative that's going to take place in January 2026. Right now, it's going to involve 7 different cities and 6 webinars. But in the 7 cities, we'll be doing live events. It's all a focus on our people of color, and actually anyone who's ready to start becoming the best version of themselves. So we want to give people enough tools and resources so that they can really start their health journey wherever they are. If you already have a chronic disease, you can find out different ways that you might be able to manage or treat that disease. If you are a healthy person, what can you do to maintain your health and make sure that you're healthy going into the formative years of your life? If you have a family member that is sick and you're fine, or you're part of the sandwich generation, we have information and resources for everyone. So look out for that. We're going to be promoting that all over the place very shortly, and we'll have both hybrid events and in-person events in the different markets, which include Philadelphia. We'll be back in Harlem doing something. We will be in Charlotte. We're doing a partnership in D.C. with a big sponsor that we will be unveiling, I believe, before the end of this month. But it's going to be excellent programming, and we will also have all of it available hybrid and on our BHM YouTube channel after we complete the event.
Oh, exciting. So they can go online now and see what you did this last month.
I cannot tell people enough. Stay on blackhealthmatters.com. That is your go-to place for everything. You will not only be able to see upcoming events, get weekly. We also have amazing newsletters. You can sign up for our newsletter when you go to blackhealthmatters.com. But you can click on and see all of our past rewinds from different summits where we have these half-hour videos on every disease state that you can imagine. You can also go to our YouTube channel to see the hundreds and hundreds of videos. Type in a disease state, you will find information and resources on blackhealthmatters.com.
Okay, because I really would love to hear the Black cardiologist who spoke, because he gave a lot of information. So was that tape?
We are actually editing down all of the videos from the Harlem Week Summit, and those will all be available probably on the VFairs platform, which is where we originally did our broadcast. That will be available mid-September, and everything will also be simultaneously on our Black Health Matters YouTube channel. And we do promote those. Please go to our Black Health Matters Facebook page, or you can go to Instagram at Black Health Matters. You can find us everywhere just typing in Black Health Matters and be directed to everything that we have to offer, because everything that we produce and curate, we want to make sure is accessible and that people know that they can come back to us whenever they need some information.
What a wonderful outlet, or a place to go for information, and it covers everything. And I guess you have like questions and answers, like they could put in a question and someone will get back to them.
So we also have info@blackhealthmatters.com. If you have a question or want to find out some information, like we often get inquiries where someone may have a relative or they themselves may be suffering from a particular disease state, and they might want to know, is there a Black urologist in my city? Mm-hmm. Is there a Black, that's usually the type of questions that we get, but certainly any question that you have, if you send it to info@blackhealthmatters.com, we would definitely try to see if we can reach out to someone in that area so that we can get you an answer.
Oh, that's worth its weight in gold. Because you just remember you have a long time. Sometimes it takes you to get to a doctor. You have a question or something's concerning you, and you can't get to the doctor until you can get an appointment.
And or unless you come to one of our summits, because we have the top of the line medical professionals right there, and you saw it firsthand. They answer any question that you have, and then they're also available. They stay and go to the tables, because each one of our sessions are normally sponsored by a major pharmaceutical company. So you can usually go right to that table after the session or before the session and have one-on-one dialogue with these amazing physicians.
Yes. Well, after it was so much information, I couldn't get up and go speak to the gentleman, the first guy. Then the second guy, I was listening to the next piece. So by the time I went back there, they had packed up, but I did have the opportunity to speak to, it was a group, a nonprofit organization that dealt with asthma. And that was very important. I did a test with them, and they have like a support group for people who suffer with asthma or
I think that was the COPD Foundation.
Yes, yeah.
So and they were there supporting, because we actually did a session on COPD and had a patient advocate there. That was really well received, because a lot of people, especially in communities of color, suffer from asthma and different breathing disabilities.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the one. So I was happy to go, and I did the test. So I was feeling good, but with this, when they tell you not to go out because the air is unsatisfactory, well, I haven't had a wonderful summer, but when she did this test, she said, oh, it's just a little bit something going on. So then I went home and took my little, inhaler to see, well, let's catch something before it would happen. So that was a very good, screening.
Yes, it's called a pheno test, and they also did those. That was one of the screenings that was done at the Sun. So that's probably what you had, where you had to blow into a device.
Absolutely, yeah. It was excellent.
So that's what that was. And that actually was done by the Allergy and Asthma Network. Allergy and Asthma Network has been one of our longtime program partners. So they were on site and performed that.
Yeah, she was wonderful. It was a wonderful screening and loads of information, educational information. They listed all the different medication, all the different, inhalers, and explained them. So it was very educational, because, you go to the doctor, they tell you, well, do this, do that. They'll tell you a little information, but not when you can actually go to it and they actually explain it and go through it and give you other, comparisons. So it was outstanding. Was outstanding.
Well, it sounds like you really came and took advantage of a lot of the resources and information. So that is great to hear. And we cannot wait to come back bigger and better next year, because now that we're in Riverside, there was actually another space that we'll be able to get for next year so that we can accommodate even more people in person.
Oh, that's wonderful, because they do have the space. So that was a great resource. So I'm looking forward to the one that you said that you had. You sound like your mother right there. Yeah. So they're going to Charlotte. When are you going to be in Charlotte? Because I have people, all my family has moved from New York, born Brooklynites. They all moved to North Carolina, to the Charlotte area. So
do you know that is like my nephew's family? The same thing happened with him. But Charlotte is going to be on Saturday, November the 15th. And that is going to be at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, which is on Beatties Ford Road, which is a real popular long block there. And that is a huge a church, and they have amazing space. They have a huge gymnasium there where we do our exhibit hall. They have a big event space, ballroom, where we have all of the sessions. And then we even have space where we can have all of our vendors and our sponsors in the hall area. Again, we provide free breakfast, lunch, etc. And you can find all of that information on blackhealthmatters.com. And you can also register. I think registration is going to be opening probably mid-September.
Okay. Well, I will definitely promote it to my North Carolina people.
Yeah, and promote it everywhere, because you can click on and we have a selection that you're either going to attend in person or virtually. So you could just select that you'll attend virtually if you're not in the Charlotte market.
In the area. Okay, I will do that. That's just really good to know. And it's great that you are able to do a virtual and, the hybrid along with the in-person.
Exactly.
And so what about Atlanta?
Atlanta, we are in Atlanta every Black History Month. So we will be, I think our Atlanta date is February the 21st, Saturday, February the 21st, 2026. And we will be moving to a new venue. We've done the Loudermilk Conference Center the past 4 years, but we outgrew them as well, similar to Harlem. So we are now going to be at a church called Friendship Baptist Church, not to be confused with Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Charlotte. Okay. It's Friendship Baptist Church, and that actually is Maynard Jackson. I believe his father was the first pastor, and that was, his family's church that they went to. But it's been, it was purchased. They were, I think, the first Baptist church in Atlanta, and their original building was purchased by the government because they built the big sports stadium there. And as part of the agreement, they had them paid to build their brand new church, which is absolutely fabulous. It is beautiful. They have the marble floors, the amazing sanctuary, the big event space. It is just a beautiful facility, and we are looking forward to filling every inch of it with screenings, community partners, and programming.
Well, I'll have to put you in touch with some of my people down in Atlanta, because I don't know if you know the Mandeville family, like Harriet Mandeville, Eddie Mandeville, who was the head of GY. He was the head of chair of the GYN in Harlem Hospital, and his daughter is also OBGYN and was cited as the top GYN doctor in Atlanta. And she does amazing work. So I would like to put you in touch with her, that maybe you can include
please share that information, because we do more than just the summit. We do other programs for individual disease states, and we do a lot of work around women's GYN health.
Okay, well, she's doing some new things and wonderful things, and I'm gonna tag you in her Facebook because she has a presence there. But also, I don't know if you know Dr. Meredith. He was on the chair. He was the president of New York City Technical College, and his daughter is down there from Atlanta. He was the chancellor of Atlanta University since this is years ago. But his daughter is big in the AKAs. So we and
we partner with all of the fraternities and sororities. They're all our community partners, and they. All of the members from the local chapters serve as our volunteers to help us throughout the day.
So anyway, it's so exciting. We have to start the networking right now.
Absolutely. I am all for it, and you know how to reach me.
Yes, I will. I'm going to give you that information. I'm definitely going to give you. So now, is there anything else? I want to make sure that I cover everything that you need to cover while we have you on the line.
I think I covered pretty much everything, but we do have another initiative. We are really focusing on educating people about clinical trials. And so we actually asked a question as part of our registration form to find out if there are people that are interested in learning more about or participating in a clinical trial. So the program that we're going to be doing in Baltimore that I told you about, that is actually one of the recruitment and retention and education events that we're putting together. But that's an area of focus. And then also we're looking for people that want to be patient advocates in different disease states. So if you go to blackhealthmatters.com, just look through our homepage and you should find information or a flyer that you can click on that will take you to a jot form where if you're interested, you can fill out your information and then we will be in touch with you.
Okay. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's about it for what we're doing now. I think I covered everything.
You did cover everything for Black Health Matters, but I didn't, and it was very extensive, and people got a lot of information, and they certainly can recap all of this because it's going to go online. So don't feel left out because you're going to have it online.
Right, it will be a rewind, the Summit Rewind series.
And it'll be worth it to go online to actually just click into the different areas of interest because it was covered. You covered most of all of it.
Right, and they can watch the full video presentations that were done at the church.
Wonderful. So I would like to just tap on before we sign off, just because I know that you said that Lloyd Williams was your godfather, and I know that you did go to the funeral. So just give us what would you like to share about that?
Well, I just have to say that first of all, I shared with his wife Valerie and also his son Aday that was one of the best produced and beautiful homegoing celebrations that I have ever attended. One thing that was really, really great is that because he knew so many people, because of all of the changes and the contributions that Lloyd made to the Harlem community, everybody and their mother, wanted to speak. But what they did was they had different categories of speakers, and they would have one person as a representative, but behind that one person would be everyone else in that category. So, for example, Inez Dickens spoke, and behind her were all of the elected officials from Harlem, from Youssef to Al Taylor. I mean, it was amazing. And then they all just were up there collectively supporting whoever the speaker was. And they did the same thing with the family. Lloyd's brother spoke, but all of the other relatives were behind him. And one of the things that had us in tears was that Aday specifically asked Valerie's cousin to do a tribute with her family behind him because of what an amazing stepmother she has been to him, and also the way that she cared for his father. So that just had everybody in tears because we all know that she is a beautiful person inside and out. But to actually be acknowledged in that way at your husband's funeral, I think that's something I've never even seen happen before. And it was just such a classic addition to what was already a perfectly beautiful service, which, by the way, had over 1,000 people in attendance, and everyone got in seamlessly and was seated. Everyone received programs. It was so well done. I have to shout out to the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, specifically Aday, Lloyd's son, who spearheaded everything along with Valerie. They did an absolutely amazing job, and he will be missed. He was such a giant of a personality. I actually spoke to Marco today, like, what are you guys going to do over there? Because Lloyd was involved physically in every single aspect of everything that goes on. And they do a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how, how they revamp and, rework everything to move forward and to continue to be the force that they have been with creating change and opportunity in Harlem. So love you, Lloyd.
Yes, absolutely. Was there for everything, everybody. You could depend on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, did they? Was that taped? Is it up where someone else can go, so you can go and look at it?
It was live streamed for sure, and I am pretty sure if you go to either HarlemWeek.com or Greater Harlem Chamber.com that you'll be able to watch the replay.
Okay. They should put that on YouTube so that it lives forever.
Yeah, and don't quote me. I'm pretty sure it's on one of those, but please look it up and share it with your listeners because I'm sure that they would love to see how beautiful the service was. And like Reverend Al Sharpton, Mayor Adams, Letitia James, they all were featured speakers. Reverend Jacques de Graaf was the master of ceremony who kept it all together. So it was really, really a beautiful, beautiful service. A lot of clergy and a lot of politicians as well as family and friends who love Lloyd.
Beautiful. So repeat again, what website should they go to?
HarlemWeek.com or GreaterHarlemChamber.com.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they can find it there. Or just send an inquiry and ask them where can they find it.
Yes. Miss Dedra Tate, we are just so happy to have you join us this morning and to educate us with your, extensive repertoire of information, for the community. And we certainly wish you continued success in everything that you touch, everything that you do. You are a dynamic woman that is just making a difference out there, making a difference in the community that we live in and beyond. Your reach is very far. And may God continue to bless you and take care of you, and you continue to do this important work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me once again and for helping us get the message out about all of the amazing resources and information that's available at blackhealthmatters.com.
Yes, and we'll have to have you come back. Anytime that you feel you want to promote something or educate us or let us know something, just don't hesitate to reach out, and we would be delighted to have you back.
We will definitely reach out so we can tell you about all of the details as we iron them out for Our Health, Our Wellness, which will be in January.
Okay. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
And you do the same. Thanks so much, Ruth.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.